Hey guys, it's Maddie and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is more or less going to be like a video diary to myself. This is things I need to hear because I'm going through like a weird time right now. I think I'm just gonna like hop right into the video and get to it because I don't really know how to preface it. But yeah, so what I'm feeling right now is that I'm not the person I was. Like, I'm not the borderline alcoholic, substance abusing, broken, no confidence girl I was like a year ago, even less than a year ago, like 8 months ago. I'm not that person anymore. And as I'm starting to do some like self-development and understand myself better, go to therapy and actually like take care of myself, I'm starting to realize that there's not an end goal. Like, there is not someone I want to be. I just want to keep bettering myself. Like, I think it's kind of toxic thinking that there's an end goal, that this is once I check this, and this off my list, that's who I want to be, and then I can be happy. I've been really struggling with like being happy with who I am now and just wanting to better myself instead of trying to like rush to a finish line, because there is no finish line in life. I guess maybe death, but don't want to go there. But since this is a video diary, kind of, I wrote a whole bunch of stuff out. Just like some points I want to hit in this video, because as I'm learning, I don't talk out loud to myself a lot. Like, I internalize a lot of my feelings and a lot of my emotions. I don't speak it. So I'm trying to talk to myself more often. And if that's being recorded, then so be it. But what I like to do now is like handwrite things out and then speak it out loud, because I've been having some issues talking about uncomfortable things and just like my emotions and my feelings and stuff. I have a hard time talking about it. So what I've been learning in therapy is just like slowly finding the tools to work up to talking about my emotions. So just hearing my voice say it and projecting it and saying it out loud is actually really helping. That is just one thing. Like, the biggest hurdle is just saying it. Like, once I start talking, I'm good. Like, for Dustin, if I need to bring something up to him, once I start saying it, then I'm good. But it's just getting over the hurdle of starting to talk. So that's why I'm doing this. So I'm just, to like summarize that, I'm tired of this thought that there's a before and after. Like, I know there's a before, like someone who I was, like not even a before, just someone who I was, like that was a part of me. And I was that girl who was going out and drinking and blacking out and making a fool of myself. And I'm not proud of that, but I had to get through that to carry on with my life and continue on a path that I want to be on. But that's not me before. That was me. That was me in the past. And still part of me. Like, I still was that, still have those same emotions and things. I just know how to better handle them and better cope with them, and how to talk about them and how to articulate and how to know when I'm starting to struggle before I revert back to those coping mechanisms. I'm still that same girl with the same emotions. I just know how to handle it and take care of myself better. And for an after what? There is no after. There is me. Like, I am me from when I was born to when I die. That's one line, one straight line. It's not like there's just a gap and like this is the self-development chunk and then there's a before and an after. It's not black and white. I am everything. Like, life ebbs and flows, peaks, valleys, highs, lows, all of that. And you are still the same person here as you are here. So I just don't want to get to an after. I want to get to a place where I am just consistently okay. Not necessarily happy, but just okay in who I am, and not a before and after, black and white. Because if there's a before and an after, what about this middle chunk? What is that? And that is what I am in right now, and don't see it talked about enough. The people that are working through the self-development and continuing to learn and wanting to better themselves, you just see the before and the after, especially with social media. Everyone's so quick with the before and after shock value photos, like especially like I'm thinking weight loss and like addictions and stuff, you see the before and after, but what about the middle part? I just want to bring attention to the middle. And I don't think I have a before and after. I have me, I guess, before I found my coping skills and I have the hurt me, but now I have the me getting better, the me continuing to make me a priority. That was a little bit of a tangent right there, but just some thoughts. And like, shit is hard. This getting better is freaking hard. It is so damn hard. It is very much promoted that, oh, drink your greens, drink your lemon water and make your bed and have a good morning routine and then your life will be perfect. No, that might help maybe, but maybe not, because those I think are like markers. You wake up, you drink your water, make your bed, you work out, you go do this, and this. Those are all markers, but what about mentally? Like those are all physical things, but what about mentally? Because you can be doing that and still hate yourself. You can be making your bed and think you're the shittest person around and want to die and think you don't deserve anything good. So yeah, doing all of that checks the physical boxes, but it's like the mental thing, because doing that might help you get over some of the mental blocks, but I don't think so. I really, really, truly don't think so, because I was in active addiction and still making my bed and drinking my lemon water. I've never bought into the greens. I don't really support that. I don't think there's any super value. If you're eating like a balanced meal, I don't think you need the greens personally, but I mean, do what you want. If you like that, go for it. But I was doing all of the healthy things. I was working out, but I still hated myself. I would still go out on weekends and black out and partake in other activities that were not good for me. And then the next week I would spend hating myself, but still just going through the physical motions and dragging myself through it, but still hating myself, and my life wasn't getting any better. So yeah, the physical markers are great, but you need to do a lot of the inner work too. And that's what I'm going through. Being with myself okay mentally, like being okay with my thoughts, and the physical stuff just didn't really help with my thoughts. It's more like writing and journaling and going to therapy and talking. Just talking, I think, has made the biggest difference for me, and getting everything that was in my head out. Because you can go through all of those emotions in silence and not speak to anyone, but talking and unloading what's on me has made the biggest difference. And building a routine, I think, is kind of restricting and was not the most beneficial for me, because honestly, it felt like I was living Groundhog's Day. I would get up, do the same thing, go through the same motions, and I knew what I was going to do every day. And in some aspects, I can see how that's helpful for some people, but for me, it was like I'm dreading. Like there was no excitement, no change in my life. I'm like, oh, gonna get up, gonna go walk on the treadmill and do this, and that. But each day I want to like kind of do little things, like change my workout. And I'm not sure if that's because right now I'm still in school, so I have a little bit more flexibility in my schedule, but I just don't want to really restrict myself to that routine. I think it's important to have certain things you do every morning. Like I eat breakfast every morning and I make my coffee and I brush my teeth. Those are habits, but I don't want to get stuck and limit myself to a routine like that. I need to do wake up, drink my water, drink my greens, go work out, go for a walk, and then eat my breakfast, make my coffee, and da-da-da-da-da-da. I just want to be able to flow and feel what my day is like and just kind of go through it with a little bit more ease and not being so harsh on myself. Because if I don't stick to my routine, then I think I'm a failure, and it's just like a full circle, and sometimes can do more harm and damage than it does good. So where I am starting with bettering myself, with making these lifestyle changes, is I have started taking my mental health more seriously. So having open conversations, open communication about how I'm feeling, my emotions, talking about it, having those uncomfortable conversations and just doing it. Just do it. Having conversations, you're not gonna make things better by just thinking about it. You need to practice having the conversations. You need to practice bringing up the uncomfortable things. Like what I find uncomfortable, talking about my emotions, talking about sex, talking about intimate things, talking about things that make me uncomfortable or make me upset. Those are all really hard to talk about for me. And thinking about it, I can think about it till I'm like freaking blue in the face, but it doesn't help me talk about it. It doesn't help me bring it up to the people I need to talk about it with. So you just do it. You just start somewhere, start small, just little pieces here and there, but just do it. Just do it. It feels so much better in the moment and before it's awkward, uncomfortable, but afterwards, you don't have to think about it anymore because you have it out there. It is off. It has been shared with another person, so you can share the weight of it, not just holding it all on yourself. I am just being very intentional with everything I'm doing. Like today I was in Shoppers and I have exams coming up for school. So right now I'm like emotional a little bit and stressed. And so what I would have done was go in there and just spend like $100. And I almost did. Like skincare and hair care, that gets me because I think I need to buy that to be a better version of myself. So I was in there looking at everything, hair masks, leave-in sprays, leave-in conditioners. I have a whole bathroom full of that shit from the last time I got stressed and just stress shopped and impulse bought. So I went in and bought the two things I needed. I knew what I needed before I went in there, a shampoo and vitamin C serum. And I got those two things. And that was it. I cut myself off. I had an armful at one point. Well, not quite an armful, but like 4 or 5 extra products. And I put them back because in my head, I knew like finances kind of stresses me out. And as a student, I want to be on a tighter budget and like hold myself more accountable. So as I was holding this shit, I'm like, I don't need it. I would rather be more secure in my finances and stick to my budget than I would be to have all of these products that I know I'm really not going to use. I'll use like 3 times and then they're going to sit under the sink with the rest of my shit. So I put them back and I am happy, but I was also intentional and I was present in the moment, thinking about my actions, going through the motions, not just looking and seeing and be like, oh, this is what I want. Oh, I could use this. This is what I need. This will make me feel like a better person. This will make me feel complete. Oh, after if I buy this, then I'm done. That's what gets me. After I buy this thing, then I'm done spending money. I won't spend any more money once I have this. It does not work like that. That just encourages the spending even more. So I was present. I was in the moment and being so conscious and aware of what I was doing, what I had, how much money I could spend, and anything outside of that, I didn't need, and I put back and I walked out of the door. And with that, I'm being very, very specific with my goals. And actually this notebook, I have like a lot of different stuff in it. If I can open it. I just bought it from the dollar store. $2, a $2 notebook. And I just write in it. How do I show this? Like write all of my thoughts and plans and stuff in here. So what I actually did, let me just find it. So I drew, is this a brain map? Mind map? Whatever. I drew 3 of them. I'll go through them a little bit. But the first one is, these are like kind of goals or areas of stress in my life. So this one is financial freedom. And off of that, I kind of brainstormed some things that would help me achieve that. So assess what areas are financially heavy and adjust as needed. Find a side hustle. Look for sales. Limit impulse buys. Prioritize school. That's one thing I need to pay for tuition for my schooling. So I like this extra little fluff stuff is not going to help me get through school any better. Be creative. Evaluate my needs and wants. Take a step back before buying. Evaluate my areas of income. Schedule time to be able to work. Oh, scheduling time to be able to work. Like finding areas in my schedule and prioritizing my time and my schedule to be able to go to work to make more money. Stay within my means. Learn more about investing. So that's also getting in more education and a new hobby or skills. The next one is school and education. I'm gonna just kind of go over these next two pretty quick. Things don't just happen. I need to make it happen, take the opportunities, utilize my resources, give it my all. I'm worth the effort. I am worth investing in, and so is my education. Minimize my distractions, so like making the most of my space and like turning off my phone, things like that. Limit the idea I'm not ready or I need to learn more. So kind of just diving in, just starting, like having those uncomfortable conversations, just starting. Next is health and wellness. Learn from others and then take action. That is one thing I really struggle with. Like I will listen to all the podcasts, watch all the YouTube videos, but I won't take what I learn and apply it to my life. I just kind of take in the information and keep it and then use it to feel worse about myself that I'm not as good as them or I'm not achieving as much as them. So that is one thing I really need to work on. Don't quit, just rest. This is from Leo Skeppy. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he has a podcast, Aware and Aggravated. I also love him on TikTok. He always says lack of discipline makes you ugly, which is true. Because if you're not very disciplined, I think everything just kind of gets all messy. Don't try, do it, but you need to try to do it. I don't know, that one doesn't really make sense. But then realizing everyone has different needs. So that kind of goes back to my greens and like the routines and stuff. Just because it works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for you, doesn't mean it's going to work for me. What works for me and it might not work for you or the next person or whatever. So kind of just take bits and pieces that resonate with me and using those instead of just being like, oh, this worked for that person, so I need to take everything that they're doing and force myself to do it. Which is like, no, I can take like this aspect and use that, or that tip and take that and use it for me. I am my individual. I don't need to try to replicate someone else to make me feel better. Because honestly, that makes you feel worse, I think. Anywho, less social media. I think that's kind of a given, and I think everyone should try to do that. For me, it kills my creativity because I see everyone else making content and I'm like, oh, it's already been done, so I can't do it. There's no room for me. Not true. I'm creative. I bring something different that someone else doesn't bring. I have different interests. I have different knowledge. I have a different skill set. And all of that is needed and wanted and valuable and can be appreciated. So social media makes me feel less than, and it kind of gives me the like scarcity mindset that I can't make it, that everyone else is on here and what's out there is all that will ever be out there and all that can ever be out there. I don't see that there's room for myself, and that makes me feel like shit. So if I just do my own thing, then it makes me feel better. So I need to be less of a consumer and more of like an actor. Is that it? An actor? I'm also handwriting freaking everything. Like I said before, I handwrite it and then I try to speak it. I just like having everything written down so I can go back and reflect on it. Not so much as a journal, but more so just like random thoughts and ideas. I just like having down so I can go back and look at things. I also, like with that, I write down all of the quotes and like little bits of information I hear that I really like, usually just on a sticky note so I can have it and refer back to it. I just think it's cool and I don't want to lose them. Like on my phone, I can screenshot and shit, but I like having an actual copy of it. Okay, next is going to be something a little touchy, potentially, or controversial, but majority of the influencers you see are full of bullshit. Unpopular opinion, maybe, but I feel like, I know they're called influencers for a reason, to influence you to do stuff, do something, but I don't know. Most of the ones that I have been watching, they like, I don't know how to say this really, but like they have a product that they want you to buy, so they need you to have a reason to buy that product and make you feel like you're missing something without their product. I know that's the whole marketing thing and all of that. Like I know that's the purpose of it, but if you're not aware of it, it can make you feel like there's something wrong with you and that you're the problem, not that this is a marketing strategy and a business standpoint. Like Blooms and AG1 and that kind of stuff, they make you feel that without their greens, you are nothing. Like you are a shit person, you are dumb, you are not doing better for your mental health, your physical health. Like you are doing harm to yourself by not having their product, which not true at all. Just want to put that out there. How many people have lived and survived and had a great life before those products, after those products, with those products? And that kind of relates back to my mental health. I was buying all of that shit, everything. I was buying like Sarah's Days, freaking whatever, hormonal acne powder, because I felt like something was wrong with me, and that without that, I would not be good. I would not be good. I would not feel good. I was hurting myself. I would not be fulfilled without that product. Guess what? I still had acne. I was still depressed. I was still anxious, even when I was taking that shit. So that stuff might help support some things. I'm not going to discredit them or say any of that, but you need to do the work, and those products aren't going to do the work for you. You can be just as happy without them. You can be happy with them. And if that's something you want to take, go for it. Do it. Knock yourself out. But if you don't want to take that, if you don't want to buy into that marketing, you don't have to. Don't do it just because you feel like that. They need you to feel like you are missing something. You are you are inadequate without that product. So when you buy that, then you'll level up. And not until after you have that product and use it, then you'll be acceptable. You'll be good after that. Not true. Not true. Buy it if you want, but just know that is a marketing and business standpoint. And it's hard with these influencers because they do is it the pseudo relationship or whatever that's called? They make you feel that you can trust them and you can rely on them and that they are going to tell you the 100% honest truth. At the end of the day, you pay their bills when you buy that stuff, you support them, you give them that money. And yeah, they might give all of these huge promises and guarantees, but at the end of the day, that's their business. It's like not really comparable, but like kind of comparable. A lawyer gets you into more problems than it's worth, but then they can promise to get you out of that legal situation. They put you there in the first place, and to get you out of it, you would need to pay them more money. So then you provide for them, if that makes sense. So the influencers make you feel like you are less than without that product, and without that product, and without you buying that product, they don't make money. But you buy that product, they make money. See? The consumer affects everything. I just want to put that out there. Like, you are not the problem. It's the marketing. And you hold what the market wants. So without you feeling like shit, the market's going to go down. The marketing is not going to work. That business is not going to thrive. It's not going to succeed. So you hold that power. So when you feel like shit, you giving them the money does what they want. So then it's like a loop. It's a cycle. That's what happens. And I just had that realization because I bought into all that shit. I thought if I buy this, if I buy the next skincare, if I buy Sarah's Days powders, if I buy the supplements, if I buy the greens powders, I am going to be good after that. You're not going to be good. You're only as good as you make yourself feel. So having that is not going to make your mentality any better than it was before you had them. So don't think that those products are going to be the be all end all and going to be your saving grace and your Hail Mary. It's not going to. And no one talks about that enough. That is not going to, yes, there are some stuff that's like going to supplement and like can give you tools to get better, but it comes down to you. And when you buy that stuff, you're still going to be the same you with it. You just have extra shit now and less money, honestly, is how I felt. Like, I bought all the pills I thought I needed to and bought into all of it because I was so desperate. And that's what I find people use and take advantage of. I was so desperate and so low and so down, and I was going to grasp at anything I thought to make me feel better because I idolized those people, those influencers. I'm like, they have it. Look at their freaking perfect life. Like, look at them. And It's because they said they had this product, so with that product, that's what got them there. But it's not, because you don't see what goes on behind closed doors. You don't see their everyday life, their thoughts they have, their habits and their day-to-day stuff. You don't see that. You see what they want you to see, and they can curate that. They can put out there what they want you to see, and that is how their businesses thrive. Why do you think Bloom is doing so well in athletic greens? Because the influencers, that's either their business that they're promoting, so then you directly affect them, or like with athletic greens, a lot of the promoters like Joe Rogan, he gets a huge kickback from you buying athletic greens and using his code. You help him make the money, which helps the company make the money. It is like a freaking pyramid scheme if you think about it, honestly. Isn't it all? Bloom, it starts with Mari, but Mari has all of her little social media puppets down here that are going to distribute blooms to the mass, to the consumers. Consumers use their promotion code. So then the promoters, they get a little part of the money, but then their big chunk of the sales goes up to Mari, who's the head of Bloom. Pyramid. You see? Pyramid. Wow, I have gone on such a freaking tangent, but because this is what I have felt like forever, that I am the problem. And then when I buy these products from social media, then I can finally be good. And that's not true. That is not true. Honestly, I have started Wellbutrin, an antidepressant, and it's helped quite significantly. And I'm not promoting like antidepressants or big pharma or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but that's what's worked for me. And I know not everyone wants or needs to be on medication, but buying and trying to fill the void, buying all of the hot trendy topics didn't do jack shit for me. And now I'm doing things for me, and I don't need the influencers. I don't need whatever the fuck they're selling to me. From my brain to yours, do with that information you want, take it, leave it, whatever. I don't care. That's just what I'm thinking. And yes, I also don't think I'm gonna edit this video. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna post it as is, because this is freaking real and raw and honest. And how bullshitty would it look if I clipped and cropped and did whatever I wanted to this video, but not my point. Anyways, that is pretty much all I wanted to say. It doesn't freaking, like, this video had no point, no purpose. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I don't even know if I made sense. I kind of just felt like I rambled and ranted, and I did. I know I did, but someone has to say it, and I know I'm just a freaking little nobody on the corner of YouTube and like 70 subscribers, but I'm putting it out there. I just wanted to say it. I want to start vocalizing. I wanted to start making sit-down videos and talking about things that are on my mind, because it's good practice for me to start doing it in my real actual life with my real friends, relationships, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I guess I wrote down one little paragraph that I just want to read right from my notebook, because I think it's kind of important and kind of just like summarizes that whole little tangent I went on. So, the growth happens in the background, and these influencers are not going to hold you accountable. They don't do your work. They try to push their product to make you feel like you're doing... they try to push their product to make you feel like you're doing it, like doing the work. But honestly, it just makes you feel worse and like something is wrong with you. So in a nutshell, that's how I feel. Thank you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you agree, disagree in the comments. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.